Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive weekend. Back chilling at the crib with my son, man. I got him asleep right now. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Now, this is something that I wanted to get into last night on live, but unfortunately, I just did not have the time to do so. So I figured I'd speak about it now. You know what I mean? And what I wanted to speak about was the whole situation with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. It's pretty much been quiet since Terence Crawford defeated Spence. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford did a few interviews afterwards, but it's been pretty much quiet since then. So Errol Spence comes back on social media at the beginning of 2024. You know what I mean? The beginning of January, which is just a couple of weeks ago. And he's not really been, I'm not going to necessarily call him excuses because he is giving Terence Crawford his props, but he did speak on the mishaps that he had during training camp and why he wasn't able to perform to the best of his ability. You know what I mean? I'm speaking about the whole cataract situation, having broken ribs, not sparring while he was in Vegas, and things of that nature. It was a whole bunch of things that he said just went wrong, and him not necessarily living the boxing lifestyle was one of the reasons as well. So I guess Terence Crawford then had enough of all the things that Errol Spence has been saying on social media as to why he wasn't able to perform to the best of his ability. So Terence Crawford goes on to say, yo, man, I done heard it all. You know what I mean? But like salute to, you know what I mean, Errol Spence. He's glad that it's all behind him. And he just wishes him well. You know what I mean? And based off of that tweet right there, Terence Crawford didn't really care to expand upon that tweet or anything like that. So it's leaving a lot of speculation in the air as to what he meant by that. There's some people that believe that he'll just see him at another time and that they'll still fight at the end of the year. Still, some people still believe that the rematch clause is on and active and they'll just be fighting later on in the year. Or they think that the time frame within that rematch clause it has reached its limit, and he's looking to go on to bigger and better fights now. I don't know exactly what's going on, man. I don't know exactly what Terence Crawford meant by that. I wish he would have specified a little bit more on the situation, but regardless, I'm taking it as him moving past the rematch with Errol Spence because it reminds me similar to the time where Mayweather had fought De La Hoya, and De La Hoya had a rematch clause in the Mayweather fight, but it had to be done within a certain time frame. So Mayweather had pretty much went into a small retirement until the contract expired. The rematch clause expired on the contract, and then he got right back into the mix. So this may be a similar situation where Errol Spence had to get this eye surgery, and because of the recovery process, they may have the time limit on the rematch clause may expire. You know what I mean? So that'll allow Terence Crawford to go on and do whatever he wants. Now, the question is, if it is a situation where Terence Crawford is getting past this whole rematch clause situation, what should be next for Terence Crawford? You know what I mean? Because he if he really wanted to, in all honesty, he could have a lot of options. You know what I mean? He could go over and fight Tim Tszyu for his WBO title. He could fight Jermell Charlo for unification at 154 pounds. He could fight Jaron Ennis and hopes to become 3-time undisputed in 2 different weight classes. There's a lot of options for Terence Crawford at this particular time. You know what I mean? However, Terence Crawford doesn't seem like he's really too invested in doing any of those things. He told you he's not interested in the Jaron Ennis fight. He told you he's not interested in fighting Jermell Charlo after his performance against Canelo Alvarez. Made it clear he's not interested in Tim Tszyu. He just wants the big money fights, and then he's up out of here. He told you that he may give you one more, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I think he means it. Bomac said it on my channel. He's saying it himself. And really, he's just looking for that Canelo fight, man. He's looking at that Canelo fight. But his mind may change because there was a point in time where he said that he respected weight classes and that he would like to fight Canelo at 160 pounds. But within a couple of days, he talked about being willing to fight him at 168. So maybe somebody will get in his ear and tell him something and suggest something that he may lean towards in the future. But as of right now, it seems like Terence Crawford is pretty closed off with what he wants. He felt like he's proved everything he's needed to prove. He's content with his accomplishments and his accolades. So now we just have to wait, man. We just have to wait. It's as simple as that. Terence Crawford may fight one more time. He may not fight again. Canelo still hasn't announced his opponent for May. So until then, he may be a possible opponent. Because from what I heard, the possible opponents may be who was it exactly? I think it was Terence Crawford, Jaime Munguia, and I believe Jamal Charlo was one of them. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but regardless, it doesn't seem like Terence Crawford is the most probable opponent at this point in time. And in September, from what I've understood, from what sources have told me, it's a strong possibility that it may be David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So, seems like Terence Crawford pretty much just shot himself in the foot and limiting who he's gonna fight. But at the end of the day, he's content. He's content overall with his career. He doesn't want to give anybody any type of opportunity that he wasn't given it throughout his career. And that's probably how he's looking at it. He's like, yo, like y'all blackballed me the majority of my career. You know what I'm saying? And I prevailed, but ain't nobody about to attempt to get one off on me. And if they do get one off on me, it's going to be for a big bag. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on the whole situation, man. I perceive that tweet as him saying that he's happy to get past this whole situation because he didn't want to do the rematch. He didn't want to do the rematch. Steven Nelson, his stablemate, told you he didn't want to do the rematch, but he felt like he needed to because Errol Spence gave him the opportunity. And pretty much it was written in the contract, so he has to abide by what the contract says. But maybe because the time limit has met, the time limit has went past it, like the rematch clause has went past the time limit that they agreed to, he may be able to get himself out of this situation. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation right here, man. How do y'all perceive the tweet? What do you think is next for Terence Crawford? Y'all let me know in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.